All right. Hello and welcome to the first ever JJKHawaiian video. All right. So, welcome, Internet. And since this is my first time, let me introduce myself. JJKHawaiian. I'm not going to mention my real name, not right now. But, anyways, I live in California. Not really. I live in the United States, and I am a senior. And I have decided to go ahead and start my newest career as a content creator here on YouTube or wherever. If YouTube's not going to be agreeable, then I'll find some place else to release my videos. So don't worry that it's not on a regular thing right now, but I will do different things from talking about movies in reviews, or talk about, or actually do some reaction videos of movies that I haven't seen before, first time watches. Also with music, songs of the past, as well as songs of today, which I don't really listen to, but as a musician and singing artist, one time anyway. Um, it's nice to kind of see where music is going in what direction, and I'm just not impressed so far from today's group. But hey, more power to them. That's their thing, right? You do you, I'll do me. All right. So, anyways, so I do many things on the computer. Most of the stuff on the computer nowadays, since I don't really have a job. I do have a job in the sense that I'm a writer, screenwriter, and trying to get some scripts done. I've already written quite a few features, a couple TV pilots, a webisode pilot, some short stories and short movie scripts, and just working on those. Working with my literary manager. Shout out to Rob, Rob Entertainment, ROBB, and
It's 7:30.
he's trying to help me to kind of guide my career, find out where I need to go in today's world of screenwriting and anything having to do with writing books or whatever. So there's that, and I just finished getting a master's degree in creative writing with a focus on screenwriting. Just in 2019 is when I graduated. So as an old guy to graduate with straight A's, it's an honor. It's actually a blessing. Anyways, so I talk about many things: music reviews, movie reviews, movie reactions, music reactions, maybe. Um, and then of course, everybody does whatever they do, whether it's playing video games or talking about comics, or talking whatever the subject matter may be. It seems like I'm all into that. So I got to figure out, maybe certain videos released certain times that it's going to cover this subject or that subject. That way, my readers aren't, or my viewers aren't showing up expecting to see one thing and get another altogether that they have no interest in, like politics, right? So I'm very much into politics. I don't know why, but yeah. So I do politics and talk about current administration, whether that was last one or this one, that how they're doing and whatever, and what I think of them. Some of my thoughts don't may not be agreeable to everybody, but that's okay. That's fine. You believe in your leaders, and I'll believe in my leaders, and hopefully, they'll be good leaders that that we can all work together. I don't know. So, anyways, but politics is a different thing. So I may actually create a different channel for just that talk, because I don't want to get whatever. So I don't want YouTube coming after me and shutting me down, even though politics is just one subject matter that I talk about in my videos. So, anyways, I'm also a filmmaker, or aspiring filmmaker. I have a whole bunch of film gear that I have had for maybe a year now, year and a half, and haven't really done anything with them. And it's pro stuff, enough for somebody like me. Yeah, it's way beyond what I needed. But so I have 3 cameras. 2 of them are the Panasonic HVX 200s with everything. P2 cards for the memory. I got a DTE FWS 100 as a hard drive for an external hard drive for more memory, and actually the way to go. Because you can download that directly from the camera into that device as you're recording, and then once you get to a computer, then you can run the FireWire to your computer. I use MacBook Pro 15. It was bought 2018. So it's relatively new. It's been all right. I've got I've got a 500 gigabyte hard drive. And so it's probably about 2/3 of the way full. So I got a lot of stuff on there. And since I don't really trust the cloud too much, I got to back up everything I have onto my hard drive, as well as put in like someplace like Google Docs, right? So I got stuff scattered all over there, but I try to organize it enough. So I'm used to that kind of stuff. So growing up as a career in electronics, I ended up being an IT professional, and so I was able to work with the latest technology companies had, whatever. I was a contract employee, so I went over, different states. I worked at different companies, different industries, pharmaceutical, banking, whatever, right? Finances or financials. So yeah, a lot of different things, a lot of different careers that I've had. So I got a lot to say. Whether it's all golden or makes you all warm and fuzzy inside, I guarantee you that I will offend you at some point, somewhere, somehow. So sorry in advance. Sorry, not sorry, right? So anyways, I don't try to intentionally go out and offend people. Not usually, unless trying to make a point with that person or whatever. But usually, I'm pretty level-headed, logical thinker with a creative flair. I've got a right brain, mindset that's raging with creativity, while my left side's like shackles me in brain cuffs sometimes. So anyways, yeah, so the first video, so I just wanted to introduce myself. I wanted you to understand what kind of content you can expect from the show, and it's a new venture for me. I mean, I've watched all kinds of people, all kinds of different subject matters, and it's great. There seems to be a shift now that what we used to rely on in social media has now changed, right? So we got more alternatives to choose from. They're not all the greatest thing. But of course, you have Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all that. As a screenwriter and trying to get into the business, of course, everybody has to get on those and do their thing. And hey, look at me, right? So I'm not like that. So I just, I'll come on and I'll talk, and that's it, right? So I will try and read all the comments that I can. I'm a big comment reader. But YouTube has kind of screwed me over based on some of my comments, so they may not even come out. So I don't know how this is all going to play out. I'm just going to record what I can and download what I can, and if the channel gets screwed up, then hopefully there's an alternative channel that I can download or upload my videos to as well. So instead of like YouTube, I know that I have a Vimeo account. I use that. It's not, of course, it's not social media, but it's a place to store the videos and maybe even edit them. I don't know. And then release them through that to YouTube, to Odyssey, Rumble, whatever the situation may be. Facebook, I'm trying, and it's hard to determine how long you want the videos, right? So some people go 2 hours, like Salty Cracker. Oh my gosh, that guy is great. 2 hours, and 2 hours is great if you are a good, content creator, presenter, right? So people don't want to sit there and watch. And this happened today, and then that, and then oh yeah, and then this, kind of happened. No, they want, it's like a TV show. You're gonna want to present it in the way that you think that's going to reach the biggest audience, or your audience that you're targeting. So, and I'm a slob, right? So, as you can tell, right? So, haircut, shave, clothes. I do like to look presentable. I don't want to look like a slob. So, but I just got out of work, working as a collaborator with my latest my latest script. Can't tell you the name, but it's sci-fi fantasy action flick, so a feature, and so I'm working with the IP creator, because he actually wrote this as a script for a different story, but in the same world using some of the same characters, right? So this is kind of like a shoot off, like a Rogue One, right, from Star Wars. So I understood the first one. I've known him since 2017. So and we've worked together on two stories so far. This is the third one. So we're kind of getting used to each other. But this one was the first story that he told me about, which he wrote, back in 18 years ago, something like that. And so I understand the story, I understand the characters. The new ones aren't too hard to understand. It's just you got to get into your characters' heads and understand, your basic character development stuff, right? So, what they like to eat, what they like to how they like to dress, how they present themselves to other people may be different than how they hold themselves, or they hold up a facade in front of everybody, but for certain people or by themselves, they're themselves, right? So they're different. But there's always, the core values of a person that they won't go beyond a certain point. And that kind of breaks contradicts kind of the character of the character, right? So you don't want to do that unless there's a reason, which can make a story interesting in that it makes them act contradictory to themselves, but they have to do this thing, right? They have to reach the goal, right? So it's an interesting thought, and the thing is not, you don't want to you don't want to put any kind of conflict or whatever when there isn't any call for it or whatever. Screenwriting is such a finicky, insane, boring, not boring, thing that just eats at you because you're constantly thinking about the story that you're writing, or maybe you're writing multiple stories. I'm doing that at the moment, writing another story on my own, another feature. This one's a psych thriller drama, mystery drama. I don't know. Anyway, so halfway through that, at about 50 pages or so. So I got to finish that. Started off on this other one with this guy, and we're up to 27 pages today. So, and we just read through a couple of the two other stories that we had just finished writing, and so we just reread those as the final, as final as it's going to be, right? So the final version that we're going to actually register the copyright and start submitting those for feedback, see how we do. If we do well,